about Apple and management. Actually, I'll do during this video a link between this huge company and different sections of management which are really important to ensure profitability of the business. I'm Alexandra Dion and I'm going to be your narrator for this video. So first of all, in this video, I'll talk to you a little bit more about motivation and leadership. These two sections are chapters in the book Management by Chuck Williams, and more information can be found in this book actually. So first of all, to start about motivation and make a link with Apple, I decided to show you a video of that the company made to promote its employees, and which demonstrate really how the company works in the corporate office of Apple. In the corporate office of Apple.
Apple is always about pushing the envelope, about doing the best thing possible. And that's different from any company industry. A lot of companies, in terms of making it the highest quality or the most elegant, they will stop at some point because it's too hard. And Apple will never give up because it's too hard or it's impossible.
There's no company in the world where there's such a reverence for expertise.
You don't come to Apple unless you're really good at what you do. The reason you're here, the reason you were hired, is because you're at the top of your field, or you have the potential to be at the top of your field.
There's a belief in the power of small teams to do really great things. That if you get the right people in the room with this notion of let's just do something really great, then great things can happen.
Thinking outside the box is funny. We don't even really think about the box. When we go out to do something, we don't start by saying what is everyone else doing and therefore what are the best practices and what should we do. I think we look to say what's the best it possibly can be.
We never stop really, and we were always refining every little last detail until there's no more time to refine. There is no such thing as good enough. It just has to be the best.
One of the unique things about Apple is the level of cross-collaboration between different groups. When we decided to redesign the batteries for our portable products, the goal was fairly simple: to design a smaller battery that would last longer. We had to start with a new chemistry, a new mechanical design, a completely different industrial design. Our environmental team was involved. It just touched at so many different parts of the company. And that's how new technology is done at Apple. It involves everybody.
The difference between a good product and a great product is that attention to detail. When we started the design of the iPad 2, we knew from the very beginning that the cover was going to be a really important part of the story. The big challenge was, how do you attach the cover? Our implementation of magnets was a really challenging engineering task. One of the engineers on the team actually became an expert in doing computer simulations on magnetic field. It was a tremendous amount of work by a large number of people who, through the course of this product, have become genuine experts in new areas because they had to figure out how to make this product.
そうですね、他の人と一緒に働くのが、本当に楽しいって思える人が多いですね。いろんな問題にぶち当たりながらもどんどん前に進んで、常に問題を解決していく人たちっていうのがアップルに多いです。
I think certainly a hard work ethic is important because there's so much work put into making anything, be it a product or a piece of marketing or some software. What's presented to the consumer is this kind of effortless ease. You don't really know how much work goes on underneath the surface, but believe me, there's a lot.
No hay una sola manera de resolver un problema. De ser flexible y adaptable son características muy importantes si quiere uno trabajar en Apple. Los que trabajan aquí tienen la capacidad de adaptarse rápidamente a circunstancias que cambian constantemente.
The best part of working at Apple is actually the feeling that what you've brought to the table has contributed to something greater than yourself. And in that way, you're changing the world.
We're introducing mind-boggling new, gotta have it scramble lines around the building kind of products. And I love my role in making that happen.
You will get more out of working here for 2 years than you will get out of working at any other company for 5 years. Easily.
There's a lot of places you can find happiness. Work, when structured right, is one of the few places you can really find meaning. And I think what Apple gives the employees is the opportunity to be part of something really, really meaningful.
So this was the video of Apple made by Apple, and I think I really explained more in details what is motivation for Apple and how the company brings it in its doors. Because actually motivation is the set of forces that initiates, directs, and makes people persist their efforts to accomplish a goal. And I think that's really what Apple is doing, since it's really motivating its employees to ensure that they know where to put their effort, since their tasks are clearly mentioned. Also, something made by Apple is that they demonstrate in the work their workers how to put a lot of efforts to put forward their job. And since everyone is cross-collaborating, that's very good also to motivate and to initiate efforts. And also, the persistence of effort is based on how long the employees will put forth effort in their jobs before reducing or eliminating those efforts. And I think that's very through the increase in demand that they have, and also the willingness that they have to just accomplish something and to be proud of it afterwards, since Apple is very renowned in the entire world. Also, the basic of motivation are present at Apple. First of all, there's effort and performance, which is based upon the ability of someone to do something. And since the Apple takes the best candidates and the best people in their field, then that's something that they can provide performance, since they will be able to put their knowledge in their work based on their ability. And also the situational constraints happens for everyone. It's just not, you cannot choose that. So for this reason, actually Apple offers different benefits, which it explains in its website. So one of them is are very good. There is wellness programs to ensure that the employees will feel way more happier and just healthier. Also, the on-site fitness centers is also very good, since someone also has health and life insurance. That's something that be in mind of someone in which reduces its stresses. Also, the needs, I think that this true the unmet needs that Apple keeps the motivation of its group. As mentioned in the video, they are looking for the best possible that they can do. They're not willing to just look for something that had been invented. They want to create something. So since it's always new stuff, very creative, innovative, that's a very good motivation. Also, there are the extrinsic and intrinsic rewards. I think that Apple put more emphasis on the intrinsic, more the feeling of being proud of what you do in the company, and which will affect someone else, or a decision in the entire company is also very good. Also, there is recognition bonuses that can be offered to either superiors or corporate employees. I think that Apple is using the expectancy theory. The expectancy theory is actually a theory that states that people will be motivated to the extent to which they believe that their effort will lead to good performance, that good performance will be rewarded, and that it will be offered attractive rewards. In fact, that's really what Apple wants. They want their employees to just put efforts, and since they know that performance will be rewarded. So now I will talk to you about leadership and also mostly about Steve Jobs, which created Apple decades ago, but unfortunately who died in 2011 and who's now a legend in the business industry. Steve Jobs was for sure a great leader. Nevertheless, just to explain you a little bit, leadership is the process of influencing others to achieve group organizational goals. This is what Steve Jobs wanted. Even if he had some managers aspect characteristics such as efficiency and productivity, Steve Jobs was way more in the leader side, which was based upon do the right thing. He had a clear vision of the company, what he wanted. He didn't wanted it to be, he really wanted to keep it simple and to provide it to customers. And also it was very inspiring and motivating since he made some seminars and conferences to which thousands of people attended. He was also a participative leadership. As I mentioned before in the motivation part, there are some superiors who are going to teams and question them, and that's actually what Steve Jobs admitted that was his daily task, is just to go in and see his employees and ask them questions and give them some ideas and challenge their ideas, and sometimes they challenge his ideas. Also, his achievement-oriented leader. As we know, Apple, the goal is just to be the best, and not only to be the best, but to offer a good quality of it. He was also a visionary leader. He was the first one to do most of what he did, and he is now renowned to be an amazing, brilliant man who changed the life of most of the people in creating laptops and iPads, iPod, iPhone, which are now known around the world. Furthermore, Steve Jobs is a charismatic leader. He is not seen as a charismatic as we used to be. Like normally we would say that it's a man, which is the case of Steve Jobs for sure. He was also very tall, which is another characteristic. We would normally see him like having different things such as a tie. Normally we would think that he would have a tie over here. We would also think I would not wear that, which is not something very fashionable, and most of the leaders, which are seen as charismatic, put a lot of efforts in what they wear. However, it's really true, it's moral and the different values that he had, that Steve Jobs made a very good job actually in providing what he wanted and to also motivate its people. He communicated so easily and he was very good. He did a very good conference at Stanford, which is now very well renowned. He displays confidence in followers' ability to achieve their vision. So even if it's not maybe the typical kind of leader that we would think that would be very handsome and taking care of himself, he's still an example for other leaders. Apple was able to mix motivation and leadership. I think this is true. It's leader that Apple had been able to motivate, to keep its employee motivated, and really to ensure that it will offer the best product available. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions, don't be shy to come and ask me. Thanks.